In this video, I'm sharing part 1 of a volunteer project called the Cozy Room Project. I was asked to modify an auxiliary room in my children's elementary school so that it continues to meet all of its functions, but to make it cozier. This room currently functions as a space for learning, a space for taking a break, a space for storage, and praying. My first mission was to make the shelf of binders more visually pleasing. And I did that by simplifying the colors and standardizing the labels. Because this project does not have a deadline, I've elected to thrift as many materials as possible. I thrifted binders on a few different trips, and I processed the 2 shelves on 4 different visits. While my wish would be to have a large chunk of time to commit to this project, my life commitments don't accommodate that wish right now. And also, this room is used during the day, and I will not be withholding a learning space from a student. Just a repeater, the goal of every visit was to make progress. Here's what the shelf looked like to begin with. All of the math materials were on the top shelf, and all of the literacy materials were on the lower shelf, plus 1 occupational therapy binder. I managed to swap the existing binders and add a few binders that I had thrifted so that the math binders were mostly white and the literacy binders were mostly dark blue or black. I continued to make progress with making all the math binders all white, and the lower shelf then got transformed to have all of the literacy materials to be in black binders and the occupational therapy binder to be in a blue binder. All white math materials, all black literacy materials, and the blue occupational therapy binder. My ultimate goal with the binders is for all of them to be the same color. I don't care which color, whatever I find in a bulk quantity at the thrift store, because this would minimize the visual clutter even more, but practically, new resources could be added to the shelf without somebody trying to seek out more than 1 color. It would eliminate thinking to yourself, oh, I need 1 white binder for a new math material that I've acquired, and then I need 2 more black binders for literacy materials, and then 1 more blue binder for occupational therapy materials. I want to eliminate that for everybody who uses the room. So again, my ultimate goal is to have all of these binders be the same color. Another way that I reduced the visual overwhelm was to label consistently. I labeled using the same label maker, the same font, the same label color, the same like visual line. So I used all uppercase and the same placement on the binders. And for what it's worth, this is how I organize my personal binders. Here are some other spaces that I've organized that highlight how uniform containers help minimize visual clutter. Under the kitchen and bathroom sinks, admittedly with different heights to accommodate the piping. In my utility closet, the same container with varying widths to accommodate different items. My spices, the same mason jars. And I've actually even published a video essay on my love of the uniformity of my spices. My binders, always white, always the same formatting of labeling. My children's bookshelf. Originally, I bought these containers to reduce the flopping over of the books in their bookshelf, but my son was inspired to sort all of his books, and this is the result. I taught him how to use my label maker, and this was his project. My closet drawers. Repurposed tissue boxes, but the same container. And sidebar to say, I am the first person to admit that I love a nice container, but my closet drawer containers highlight how standardizing the container is what helps with the visual overwhelm, not the actual container itself necessarily. I'm really excited about future plans for this cozy room project, and I hope you stick around to watch the transformation. I'm Ramina. Thanks for sharing your time.